welcome back to my channel. As you can probably tell by the title, I'm going to attempt to transform myself into a 90s girl. I absolutely love the 90s. A lot of my fashion is really inspired by the 90s. I love Jennifer Aniston, Gwyneth Paltrow, Cameron Diaz, and all of their looks in the 90s, so I'm kind of excited to recreate it. So, let's see. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the makeup because I feel like this is gonna be not the most challenging aspect of it, but definitely will take me the longest. I'm going to show you some of the photos that I'm trying to recreate. Gwyneth Paltrow, Cameron Diaz, even Reese Witherspoon in the 90s, they all had very similar looks in terms of eyeshadows, a lot of like frosty, pastel colors that I found that they really wore on their lids. Seems like most of the time they did more so of a nude lip. I actually made a little Pinterest board, so this is where I'm getting the majority of my inspiration for this from. Their eyebrows, for the most part, were super thin. I wouldn't say I have very thin eyebrows, and although I'm transforming myself, there's no way I'm waxing my eyebrows, so we might just have to disregard that aspect. Nothing too crazy, to be honest, but let's try it. I'm kind of weird, but I like to start off with the lip balm. You don't really need to do that, I just like doing it. I am, you probably can't even tell, but I am a little bit tanned, but since they normally go for paler skin, I'm going to be using one of my lighter concealers. This one's from Laura Mercier, so this is usually my winter shade. So we're just going to try that. Yeah, that's a lot lighter than what I am right now. So that should do the trick. It's so funny because I feel like now it's so opposite. Like no one wants to be pale. Like so many of my friends, and honestly including me, like in the winter, we like to self-tan just because no one really likes looking pale. I don't know, I feel like ill when I look pale, does that make sense? I'm just gonna use this translucent banana setting powder. In terms of blush, they go for a really neutral, more of a brownie blush. So I have my Cheekathon palette from Benefit, and I feel like the Dallas color right here is honestly gonna be perfect. I never really use this color because I like having really rosy cheeks, but let's see how this looks. And it seems like they put a little bit here. I'm just gonna blend it out a little. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to eyebrows because that kind of seems to be the next staple. Okay, so it does seem like they still kind of do an arch. And they all seem to have pretty long eyebrows, so I think I'm just gonna lengthen my eyebrow just a little bit past what it usually is. Brush them out a little more. They do all seem to have a bit of a dewy glow, so I'm gonna use a cream highlighter. So the cream highlighter I'm going to be using today is one from Burt's Bees in the shade 1905 Opal Mist. And I love cream highlighters because they never look cakey. Now we're going to move on to the eyes, which I feel like is the most exciting part. I'm using a Dior palette. This is my mom. Don't you think for a second that I can afford a Dior palette. This is pretty old. I honestly feel like she got this in the 90s, I'm not even kidding. But it has a lot of different blues that we're gonna play around with. So before we put on any eyeshadow, I'm gonna be using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. Okay. So I think I'm gonna start off by using this center shade right here. I'm just gonna be putting this all over my lid. Get a little fun. Now we're really just gonna blend this out because if you look at a lot of photos, it's really blended. So I'm just gonna go in again with the same palette, but I'm gonna add this lighter blue, but it has a lot more shimmer in it. I'm just gonna go in with this white shimmer color, and I'm just gonna put that on the inner corner. Go back and just blend Okay, so now I'm just gonna add a little bit of black eyeliner. It seems like some of their looks, they add a little bit to the top and a little bit to the bottom on the outer corner. Onto the lips, which is the final part. It seems like they keep their lips pretty nude and then add a little bit of a gloss on top, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, we're just gonna use this NARS lipstick as our base. We're not gonna put too much on. Okay, so to finish off the lips, I'm just gonna be using this NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brulee. It is a pretty nude color, but it's still glossy, which is what I love about it. Fun, okay. So, this is the makeup. This is something fun and different, so I like it. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the hair. So let's go. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to hair. After looking at a whole bunch of styles, it seems like the biggest thing back then was definitely hair clips. And I even noticed little braids in people's hair and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put these in my hair. And I chose this purple one just because I feel like back then pastels were really in, and I thought, why not? This would be kind of cute. It seems like they put them pretty high, to be honest. So I could leave it like this, but I think I'm just gonna add a few little braids in my hair. So I'm gonna do some of those and then I'll get back to you when I've done that. Okay, so I've just done one braid on this side and I finished another one on this side. And I've just been using these tiny little elastics. This is low-key so fun. I feel like I'm going to a Halloween party. Slash, I kind of wish I was going to a Halloween party. So now that we're done with the hair and makeup, which was really fun to do, let's move on to the outfits. Okay, so this is the first outfit. It's definitely inspired by Cher and Jennifer Aniston. Basically, you just paired a little black bodycon dress with a white t-shirt and then with some platform booties, and that's it. Okay, so this next look is definitely inspired by Jennifer Lopez. She wore a lot of stuff like this in the 90s, and this is definitely more of a sportier look, but definitely a vibe that I love. Yeah, if you're wondering where I got everything, I'll link most of it below, but these pants I got at a thrift store in downtown Toronto called F as in Frank, and this top, I literally have no idea. It's so old, but it's just a basic little white sports bra, but more so like a bandeau type thing. And then I paired this look with some Air Force Ones, but these ones are the Jesters, so they have a little bit more of a platform, which I personally like, just because I'm pretty short. Air Force Ones were pretty in the 90s, so yeah. Okay, so this is the third look. This one's definitely inspired by Monica Geller from Friends. It's a pretty simple look, but definitely a popular choice in the 90s. My pants are just some Levi's. They're definitely a little bit oversized, but that was definitely the style in the 90s. I paired it with just a red tank top that was pretty similar to hers, and Letterman jackets such as this one was pretty popular. Funny enough, this one's actually from my dad from the 90s, so I guess it's pretty fitting. And then I just paired mine with some red high top Converse. And yeah, so that is the third outfit. Okay guys, so this is the final outfit, outfit number 4. This one's definitely inspired by Cher from Clueless. If you've seen the movie or any scenes with her, you've definitely seen her wearing this flannel like pattern. It was super in the 90s. My skirt is from Brandy Melville, as well as my ribbed cropped button-up top. And then I just paired mine with some platform black bands, and that's it. Once again, I kept the hair look, but you can always switch it up. And yeah, so that's it. Okay guys, so that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I honestly had a really fun time recreating these looks, and surprisingly didn't even mind the hair and the makeup. Obviously, definitely not an everyday look, but it was fun. So if you like this video or want to see something similar, please leave a comment down below or give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye guys.